They say you can tell a lot about a man by the enemies he makes, and the same goes for Iron Man, the legend who practically carried the Marvel universe on his back. When Marvel was in dark times and were about to go bankrupt, the movie Iron Man brought them back to the limelight. And with the new Avengers movie on the horizon, and Marvel preparing to move on from the legendary Tony Stark, it feels like the perfect time to look back at the villains who truly shaped him into the hero we all remember. In this video, I will be ranking all of Tony villains in his solo movies so far on this tier list, starting with the man himself, Ironmonger. Obadiah Stane, better known as the Ironmonger, was a copy but upgraded version of Tony's first suit. Not only was Obadiah Tony's trusted partner, but he was also a father figure who betrayed him in the worst way possible. He gave us the famous line, "Tony built this in a cave with a box of scraps," which is probably why almost everyone are hating on Ironheart. Personally, I do feel Obadiah was made for the role, his design and cruelty, even before the suit matches the iconic Obadiah Stane from the comics. While he may not be the flashiest villain, Ironmonger does deserve credit for setting the tone of Iron Man 1 straight from the start. He deserves to be an S tier. Mysterio. Now, Mysterio isn't a direct villain to Tony since they never got fought before, but his origin came from Tony. His hatred for Tony led him to his life of crime. I made a video ranking him on the Spider-Man villains list. You should probably check that out. Mysterio's just so lame, but nevertheless he goes to D tier. Whiplash. His father once worked with Howard Stark, but after being cast aside, he and his father lived in bitterness. Ivan inherited that hatred and decided to take it all out on Tony. And honestly, I just think his whole goal of trying to kill Tony because his father told him to just feels so fake and ridiculous. And throughout the movie, he could have killed Tony like a billion times. He had the chance when he first sliced off Tony's race car, or when Tony was suiting up during the racetrack scene. But anyways, I guess Tony was protected by the almighty plot armor. Ivan replicated his version of the reactor and used it to power his whips. Later, teaming up with Justin Hammer, he built an upgraded version of his suit. That nearly matched both Iron Man and War Machine combined. I'll put him in B tier nevertheless. The Mandarin, or put in quote, the imposter Mandarin. Trevor Slattery was a failed actor hired by Aldrich Killian to pose as the Mandarin. The moment he was exposed by Tony Stark, he was later captured by the real Ten Rings and kept alive as entertainment. There's nothing much to say about him. He was lame from the onset. He goes to D tier. Killian. Aldrich Killian is the real mastermind behind Iron Man 3 and one of Tony's most personal enemies, and he's also one of the villains that interested me personally. Starting off as a desperate scientist, he transformed himself using the Extremis virus. Not only could he breathe fire and regenerate from fatal injuries, but he was the mastermind behind the fake Mandarin to manipulate the world from the shadows. Although I do feel he could have accomplished more if he continued working from the shadows rather than trying to fight Tony head-on. Even still, Tony couldn't defeat him alone. Peppers did most of the work for him. I do hope they reintroduce him later in the MCU without being nerfed. He deserves to be an A tier. Justin. If Iron Man villains had a school, Justin would be that guy that's always getting bullied. This guy literally armed a terrorist, Whiplash, just to take down Tony and unleashed drones on innocent people at the Stark Expo. Honestly, I don't know between him and Ironmonger who's more greedy. He's just this, in quote, badly wannabe villain. A man desperate to outshine Tony in every way but always falling short. He's not really dangerous, he's just obsessed with outbeating Tony. If Marvel gave him a full comeback, like in Armor Wars, it could be a brilliant mix of comedy and danger. All in all, he goes to C tier.